When Keanu's three-legged rescue dog limped into the dog park, Warden Bradley immediately called animal control. "Aggressive breeds and damaged dogs don't belong here," he declared. But when the community learned what happened, they organized the largest dog rally the city had ever seen. The morning sun cast long shadows across Riverside Dog Park as Keanu Reeves unloaded his three rescue dogs from his SUV. First came Luna, a gentle pit bull with scars across her face from her previous life as a bait dog. Then Max, a German Shepherd mix, missing his left front leg after being hit by a car and left for dead. Finally, Bella, another pit bull with one blind eye, rescued from a fighting ring 2 years ago. Despite their traumatic pasts, all three dogs were certified therapy animals. Keanu had spent thousands of hours and dollars on their rehabilitation, and they now spent their weekends visiting children's hospitals and veterans centers. This morning walk at the park was their routine, a peaceful start to their day of service. As Luna limped through the gate, her specialized prosthetic leg clicking softly on the pavement, she immediately drew stares, but not the sympathetic kind. Warden Robert Bradley, a stocky man in his 50s with a permanent scowl and a uniform stretched tight across his belly, was already reaching for his phone. "Stop right there," Bradley commanded, stepping in front of Keanu and his dogs. "Those animals are not permitted in this park." Keanu, dressed simply in jeans and a black t-shirt, looked confused. "I'm sorry, is there a problem?" "We come here every Tuesday and Thursday morning." "Well, I'm the new warden as of last week, and things are changing." Bradley pointed at the dogs with disgust. "Pit bulls are banned, and that one," he gestured at Max, "is clearly unstable. Missing limbs means balance issues, which means aggression." "That's not how it works," Keanu said calmly. "Max lost his leg in an accident. He's actually the gentlest—" "I don't care about sob stories," Bradley interrupted, already dialing on his phone. "Animal control?" "Yes, this is Warden Bradley at Riverside Park. I need immediate assistance with dangerous dogs." Luna, sensing the tension, sat perfectly still at Keanu's side. Max leaned against Keanu's leg for comfort. Bella, despite her blind eye, watched Bradley with her good eye, tail wagging slowly, trying to make friends. "These are certified therapy dogs," Keanu explained, pulling out their documentation. "They're literally trained to help people." Bradley didn't even look at the papers. "Aggressive breeds and damaged dogs don't belong here. This is a family park." Several other dog owners had started to gather, watching the confrontation with concern. Mrs. Elena Martinez, a regular with her golden retriever, stepped forward. "Warden Bradley, I've seen these dogs here for months. They're sweet animals. My grandchildren love them." "Then your grandchildren have been in danger," Bradley shot back. "These breeds are killers. And damaged dogs are unpredictable. I'm protecting this community." "From what?" asked James Patterson, a Vietnam veteran who often chatted with Keanu about their shared love of motorcycles. His own rescue beagle stood at his side. "These dogs have never caused any problems." "Yet," Bradley said ominously. "It only takes once. I've been managing parks for 20 years. I know a liability when I see one." Animal control arrived within 15 minutes. A single officer named Diana Walsh, who looked uncomfortable the moment she saw the situation. "Diana," Bradley said with authority, "these pit bulls need to be removed immediately, and that three-legged one needs to be evaluated for euthanasia. Clearly suffering." Diana knelt down, and Max immediately hobbled over to her, tail wagging, and licked her hand. "Warden Bradley, these dogs aren't showing any signs of aggression, and this one seems perfectly happy, despite his disability." "I don't care what seems. I'm ordering them removed." "Actually," Diana said, standing up, "you can't order me to do anything. I work for the city, not for you, and these dogs have all their proper documentation." Bradley's face turned red. "Fine. Then they're banned from this park, effective immediately." He pulled out a pad and started writing. "Mr. Reeves," Keanu said quietly. "Mr. Reeves, your dangerous animals are permanently banned from Riverside Park. If I see them here again, I'll have you arrested for trespassing." The crowd murmured in disbelief. Sarah Chen, a local teacher, was filming on her phone. "This is discrimination," she said. "You can't ban dogs based on breed." "I can and I will," Bradley declared. "Check the city ordinance 247.3. Park wardens have full discretion over safety matters." He turned to address the growing crowd. "Let me be clear to all of you. From now on, no pit bulls, no Rottweilers, no German Shepherds over 50 pounds, and absolutely no dogs with disabilities that could make them unpredictable. This is a family park, not a rehabilitation center. My German Shepherd is a retired police dog," protested Marcus Williams, a local firefighter. "Don't care. Rules are rules." "This is insane," Elena said. "Half the dogs here are rescues." "Then find another park," Bradley sneered. "I'm cleaning this place up, making it safe for normal dogs and normal people." Keanu had remained silent through this exchange, but now he spoke. "Define normal." Bradley looked him up and down. "Dogs that haven't been damaged. Dogs that were bred right. Dogs that don't need sob stories to justify their existence. So you're saying these dogs don't deserve a chance because of what happened to them? Because of how they were born? I'm saying they're liabilities. And if you don't leave now, I'm calling the real police." Keanu nodded slowly, then looked around at the crowd. "Everyone here heard that, right? This man is banning dogs based on breed and disability." Multiple people nodded, phones still recording. "Good," Keanu said. He gently led at his dogs. "Come on, guys. Let's go." As he walked past Bradley, he paused. "You know what the difference is between you and these dogs? They were damaged by others but chose to trust again. You're choosing to damage others because you can't trust at all." Within 2 hours, Sarah Chen's video was everywhere. Park warden bans disabled rescue dogs, spread across social media like wildfire. The comment sections exploded with outrage. By that afternoon, a Facebook group called Justice for Riverside Rescue Dogs had 3,000 members. People shared photos of their own rescue dogs, many who had been regulars at Riverside Park. The story caught the attention of Marcus Thompson, a local news anchor whose own rescue pit bull had been saved by Keanu's charity organization years ago. He ran a segment that evening titled "Discrimination at the Dog Park." The next morning, Warden Bradley arrived at Riverside Park to find something unprecedented. Over 200 people were gathered at the entrance, each with a rescue dog. Pit bulls, German Shepherds, three-legged dogs, blind dogs, deaf dogs, every kind of banned animal Bradley had listed. Keanu stood at the front with Luna, Max, and Bella. Bradley immediately called the police. "I need backup at Riverside Park. There's an illegal assembly." Police Chief Patricia Morgan arrived personally, having seen the news coverage. She surveyed the peaceful crowd of families with their dogs. "What's the emergency, Warden Bradley?" "These people are trespassing with banned animals." Chief Morgan looked at the documentation Bradley showed her. "This ban you instituted yesterday?" "Yes." "Based on what authority?" "City Ordinance 247.3 gives me discretion over immediate safety threats," Chief Morgan finished. "Not blanket breed discrimination. Are any of these dogs currently threatening anyone?" Bradley gestured wildly. "They're pit bulls. That's not a crime. And unless these dogs are actively aggressive, I'm not arresting anyone." Mayor Jennifer Davis arrived next, having received hundreds of calls and emails overnight. Keanu stood at the front with Luna, Max, and Bella. Bradley immediately called the police. "I need backup at Riverside Park. There's an illegal assembly." Police Chief Patricia Morgan arrived personally, having seen the news coverage. She surveyed the peaceful crowd of families with their dogs. "What's the emergency, Warden Bradley?" "These people are trespassing with banned animals." Chief Morgan looked at the documentation Bradley showed her. "This ban you instituted yesterday?" "Yes." "Based on what authority?" "City Ordinance 247.3 gives me discretion over immediate safety threats," Chief Morgan finished. "Not blanket breed discrimination. Are any of these dogs currently threatening anyone?" Bradley gestured wildly. "They're pit bulls." "That's not a crime. And unless these dogs are actively aggressive, I'm not arresting anyone." Mayor Jennifer Davis arrived next, having received hundreds of calls and emails overnight. She was accompanied by city council members and, notably, the head of Parks and Recreation, Bradley's boss, Director Alan Morrison. "Warden Bradley," Director Morrison said, "I need to speak with you privately." "Not now," Bradley said, growing desperate. "I need to clear these trespassers." "They're not trespassing," Mayor Davis announced to the crowd. "Riverside Park is public property, and while we're here, I'd like to announce that the City Council held an emergency session this morning. Effective immediately, no city park may discriminate against dogs based on breed or disability, provided they have proper licenses and vaccinations." The crowd erupted in cheers. Bradley's face was purple. "You can't do this. I have authority." "Had authority," Director Morrison corrected. "Warden Bradley, you're suspended pending investigation into discriminatory practices. Please turn in your keys. This is because of him." Bradley pointed at Keanu. "He stirred everyone up." "No," said Elena Martinez, stepping forward. "This is because you tried to punish animals for being different. My son has a prosthetic leg, just like that German Shepherd. Should he be banned from the park too?" "That's not the same." "It's exactly the same," James Patterson interrupted. "I've got shrapnel in my leg from Vietnam. Does that make me damaged and unpredictable?" The crowd began sharing their stories. A young woman with a service pit bull for her PTSD, a child with autism whose rescue dog was his best friend. An elderly man whose three-legged spaniel was his only companion after his wife's death. Bradley tried to leave, but found himself surrounded by news cameras. "Warden Bradley, why do you hate rescue dogs?" a reporter asked. "I don't hate them, You called them damaged and abnormal," another reporter pressed. "Do you think disabled animals don't deserve love?" Bradley pushed through the crowd and fled. The investigation into Bradley's conduct revealed a 20-year pattern of discrimination. He had previously banned specific people from parks based on appearance, had written citations predominantly to minorities, and had a history of complaints that were mysteriously never addressed. He was terminated within a week. The new warden, Maria Santos, was herself a rescue advocate who had 3 rescue dogs of her own. Her first action was to organize Rescue Day at Riverside Park, a celebration of second chances. The event drew over 1,000 people and their rescue animals. There were adoption booths, training demonstrations, and a special ceremony honoring therapy dogs. Keanu was invited to speak. He stood at the makeshift stage with Luna, Max, and Bella beside him. "These dogs were thrown away," he said to the crowd. "They were beaten, abandoned, left to die. But they didn't let their past define their future. They chose to trust again, to love again, to serve again." He looked directly at one of the cameras. "Warden Bradley thought their scars made them dangerous, but scars don't show weakness. They show survival. They show resilience. They show that despite everything, these animals chose to keep going." Luna barked once, as if in agreement, making the crowd laugh. "Every rescue animal is a testament to the power of second chances," Keanu continued. "They remind us that it's not about where you come from or what you've been through. It's about who you choose to be now." The crowd applauded thunderously. In the following weeks, the story went national. Animal rights organizations praised the community's response. Several other cities adopted similar non-discrimination policies for their parks. Bradley, meanwhile, found himself unemployable in any public service position. His name had become synonymous with discrimination. He eventually moved to another state, but the internet never forgot. 6 months later, Riverside Park unveiled a new memorial garden called Second Chances Garden, dedicated to rescue animals. At the entrance stood a bronze statue of a three-legged dog, modeled after Max. The plaque read, "To all the souls who are broken but refuse to stay that way. Your scars are your strength. Your differences make you beautiful. Welcome home." At the dedication ceremony, a surprise guest appeared. Robert Bradley. He looked different, humbled, smaller somehow. He approached Keanu, who was there with his dogs. "Mr. Reeves," Bradley said quietly, "I came to apologize. I've spent these months in therapy trying to understand why I was so afraid of difference. I was bitten by a dog as a child, and I let that fear turn into hate." Keanu listened without interrupting. "I was wrong," Bradley continued, "about the dogs. About what makes something dangerous. The only dangerous thing in that park was my prejudice." Luna, the pit bull with the scarred face, walked over to Bradley and sat at his feet, tail wagging slowly. Bradley looked down at her, tears in his eyes. "She's not afraid of me. After everything I said." "That's what rescue dogs do," Keanu said. "They forgive. Maybe you should try rescuing something yourself. Start with your own humanity." Bradley nodded, kneeling down to pet Luna for the first time. "I'd like to volunteer. At a shelter, to make amends." "Second chances," Keanu said, "aren't just for dogs." A year later, Robert Bradley was working at a local animal shelter, specifically with pit bulls and other bully breeds. He became one of their strongest advocates, often sharing his story of transformation at community events. "I used to think scars meant danger," he would say. "Now I know they mean survivor." The Riverside Park incident became a case study in community activism. Law schools studied it. Animal welfare organizations cited it. It proved that discrimination, even against animals, would not be tolerated when communities stood together. Keanu continued bringing Luna, Max, and Bella to the park every Tuesday and Thursday. They were local celebrities now, with children lining up to pet them and hear their stories. One morning, a little girl with a prosthetic leg ran up to Max. "We match!" she exclaimed, pointing at her leg and his. Max wagged his tail and licked her face, making her giggle. Her mother had tears in her eyes. "Thank you," she said to Keanu, "for fighting for them. For showing my daughter that being different doesn't mean being less than." Keanu watched as the girl threw a ball and Max bounded after it on his 3 legs, just as fast and joyful as any 4-legged dog. "They fought for themselves," Keanu said. "We just made sure people could see it."